We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Dr. Mohammed Sadeq, the Professor of Road Engineering. Dr. Mohammed Sadeq Sadeq, Professor of Road Engineering. Dr. Mohammed, good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you very much for your time with us today.
Good afternoon.
Doctor, let me start by asking you, just before we get into today's main event of the, launching or relaunching, if you may, of a very important Egyptian company, of course, the Nasr Automotive Company, a very important company back to its manufacturing glory, which has become a priority for the Egyptian state. How do you see some of the preparations and the importance of reopening one of the most important state-owned companies, specifically in car production?
Nasr Automotive plans to produce about 40,000 private cars annually in cooperation with foreign partners. The government intends to establish a new company in partnership between Nasr Automotive and the private sector to implement this plan with the aim of reducing dependence on imports, enhancing local industry, and increasing export. Also, restarting the Nasr Automotive factory represents a major step towards achieving self-sufficiency in local manufacturing,
yes,
which reduce dependence on imports, reducing the demand on hard currency, and also reduces the trade balance deficit. The factory will provide thousands of direct and indirect jobs,
yes,
opportunity in production lines and feeder industries, which contributes to reduce unemployment and supporting the local economy. This very important step reflects the state's vision to invest in the human element to achieve sustainable development. Also, the factory has suffered from multiple crises since the 1980s, including low production with high operating costs, in addition to competition from imported cars. However, its development efforts today confirm the state's keenness to build a national industry capable of competing globally. Also, the modernization of the Nasr Automotive factory will not be limited to car production, but will extend to support feeder industries related to the field, such as the local production of batteries and the car parts, yes, as well. Also, strengthening these industries represents a major addition to the national economy, as it contributes to reducing the production costs and increasing export opportunities. Also, the entry of the private sector as a partner in developing the factory reflects the state's seriousness in stimulating local and foreign investment, and the cooperation with the foreign partners ensures the transfer of advanced technology and the global expertise to the Egyptian market.
Absolutely. Dr. Mohammed, you mentioned a very important issue, which is, such a localization of production, specifically in the automotive industry, opens the doorway for many, many more local industries to have their own opportunities as well, to cover the need of the Egyptian market, specifically when it comes to automotives. How important is this aspect of such a development when it comes to Egyptian production and industries?
This is very important point to reduce the dependent on the imported
yes,
cars. Also, the development of Nasr Automotive is a strategic step to support the state's plans to achieve sustainable development, as these plans focus on localizing major industries and relying on local production, which enhances economic growth and provides greater stability for the labor market. This effort will contribute to making Egypt a regional center for the automotive industry, especially with the expansion of the use of modern technology and the production of environmentally friendly electric vehicles in line with the global trend towards reducing carbon emissions and achieving environmental sustainability. This step comes as part of a comprehensive vision to develop the industrial sector in Egypt, as in Nasr Automotive represents a symbol of national production and the state's ability to regain its position in global market, which heralds a new phase of growth and innovation in the local industry.
Yes, absolutely, Doctor. A very important issue the Prime Minister spoke about was that such an industry is capable of covering, the local market, especially now we're talking about over 500,000 cars in demand. How important is this, and do you see a future where locally produced vehicles will become the norm?
I want also to talk about a very important issue, which in my opinion is considered the most important news today, that the Nasr Automotive Company announced its success in manufacturing environmentally friendly electric buses and delivering them to the Ministry of Transport to operate in the new administrative capital. This achievement is a confirmation of the success of the state's plan to revive the company affiliated with the Ministry of Business Sector as a result of the state's effort to elaborate local manufacturing in the automotive sector.
Industry. Indeed, Dr. Mohammed. And what do you see as some of the most important industries that are nominated to return to the Egyptian market in the near future in light of the sustainable development approach and the localization of industry and manufacturing in Egypt?
Besides the car industry, you mean? In my opinion, also, I confirm that the industry of iron and steel is very important sector that the company should produce iron and steel to cover the local market and, if possible, to export.
And this is a very important drive to bridge the gap between imports and exports as well.
This is a very important issue.
Now, the importance of the economic revival of the industrial sector in Egypt, specifically during this globally challenging economic atmosphere.
And today, the company includes several specialized factors, including not only passenger cars, but also trucks and tractors for agriculture and many other industries related to the vehicles, I mean.
Right, I'd like to thank you very, very much, our dear guest, Dr. Mohammed Sadeq, our guest for the afternoon, Professor of Road Engineering. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time.